a lot of people are skeptical about whether he's still having it or not. He's got quick hands and he's got fast feet, and
his friend looked at the other guy and said, "Your man's in trouble."
I want to fight Weaver again, even if he ain't, champion. I'll take him out pretty quick.
He wears no robe. He wears no socks with his boxing shoes. He says that makes him feel more like a warrior, more like a gladiator.
New York, a warm evening in 1986. The crowd is roaring. Into the ring walks young Mike Tyson, and behind him already thunders an unimaginable, destructive record. 19 years old, 19 fights, 19 knockouts. No opponent has yet heard the final bell. But that night, in the path of the young monster stood a seasoned beast, the Fighting Cowboy, who
James was considered a lot like the gatekeeper back there, a tough fighter that a lot of the mainstream top fighters had to go through. So
by 1986, almost nobody remembered this man. And that was a mistake, because in his hands lived a speed unmatched by any heavyweight in the division, a true phenomenon, born on a ranch in Oklahoma. James earned the nickname Quick, but his true name was given to him by Muhammad Ali himself. Later train, the legend of boxing composed a poem for him and crowned him the Fighting Cowboy. By day, the ranch and the horses. By night, the amateur ring, where he sharpened his punches. 92 brilliant wins opened the door to the Olympics, but illness struck him from the qualifiers. By the mid-80s, Tillis had already racked up 20 straight wins as a professional, 16 by knockout. In 1981, he stepped in against WBA champion Mike Weaver and nearly snatched the title. Then, in 1982, fate gave him a shot at a legend. Tillis faced Ernie Shavers, a man Muhammad Ali himself called the hardest puncher of his career, and walked away with the win. By 1986, Tillis had already fought his way through a true gauntlet of rising stars and seasoned contenders in the division. Carl Williams, Marvis Frazier, Tyrell Biggs, former champion Gary Coetzee. Tillis rocked every one of them in the early rounds, then inexplicably faded by the midpoint of the fight every single time. He sent Coetzee to the hospital with a battered face and missing teeth.
And his friend looked at the other guy and said, "Your man's in trouble."
Legend has it, the answer was only found before the Tyson fight. Tillis was reportedly diagnosed with a severe allergy to milk and eggs, the classic fighter's diet, quietly draining his stamina for years. His diet was changed, and the man who stepped into the ring against the most dangerous fighter on the planet was a different Tillis entirely. But a severe ear infection had struck down the young Tyson, putting him in the hospital for 8 days and sidelining him for nearly 2 months. The bookmakers still backed the Predator without hesitation. But the experts warned Tillis was no easy target. He was a man capable of waging a real war. Years later, Tyson himself would admit in his autobiography that the fight was surprisingly even and that the deciding factor was likely just a single knockdown.
And Tillis showed why he may be a little bit different.
At the opening bell, Tyson exploded out of his corner. That low, predatory crouch, head weaving, closing the distance in a heartbeat. Pressure to the body, heavy rights, the full Catskill machine built by Cus D'Amato, unleashed on a man 12 years his senior.
Away from Tyson, and Tyson goes to work on the body. Some say that what sets Tyson apart is the intensity and
look of it would indicate he's in much better condition. I think the postponement, it is amazing to see such a young fighter understand so well.
But Tillis didn't run. No. The Cowboy planted his feet and did the one thing nobody expected. It came.
Punch that should be effective against someone who comes in, burrowing in like Tyson does. For some reason, Tillis landed. He was so shocked he grabbed.
This was supposed to be a slaughter, and instead Tillis was firing back, using that legendary Oklahoma speed to beat Tyson to the punch.
Out while he's fresh.
You see that Tillis did not. We bring you back for round 2, and you hear the bell, as you saw before we went away. Just landed 2 solid left hands.
The difference, obviously, is here Mike Tyson has 10 rounds to wear down his opponent. He had to go all out in the 3 rounds.
Round 2. Tyson switched tactics. Sharper now, more measured. The jab, pawing, probing, closed the distance. And then a heavy right that crashed home and sent the Cowboy stumbling into a clinch.
Tyson, believe it will be done by...
There it was, the moment everyone had been waiting for. The opening, the beginning of the end, surely. But no. Even in the clinch, tangled up with the most
So he can land punches to the head.
He got him with the left. And you saw Tillis.
feared puncher on the planet, Tillis found his moment and cracked a left hook to the body, right under the heart. No fear, no running, no backing down. The Cowboy was here to fight.
He was openly disappointed with the number of times that Steve in his last fight.
Any custom auto-trained fighter prides himself on his defense. And Mike really was disappointed that Zowski hit him with some right hands, really silly right hands that he should not have been hit with. It was just a loss of concentration. A jab by Mike Tyson, a rare punch for him in his first 19 fights. Training and says we'll see a lot more of it in this fight. He just tried it there till Tillis knocked down 2 of them. Out with it, but he will wear him down and bring his hand. Good head movement by Tyson coming in.
For the moment, Tyson is not nearly as busy as he has, staggering backward momentarily. But Tyson has begun to break through the guard around the face. And there's a right hand as Tyson continues to land and round 2 ends.
Round 3, Tyson pressed harder. Combinations landing one after another, a terrifying rhythm that had put 19 men on the canvas. He drove Tillis back into the ropes, pinned, nowhere left to run. This was it. This was where they always fell. But Tillis didn't cover up. The Cowboy fired back, exchange for exchange, punch for punch, trading with Mike Tyson and refusing to give an inch.
Fought to survive for the most part. The punch that turned the fight around was a combination, actually, a right. Come on, work on that. This is an important learning experience for Mike Tyson. He's going to have to be able to handle a quick Tillis to get to the top of the even. He is right now. That Tillis is making a mistake of trying to trade with Mike Tyson. He should be moving off the ropes. Instead, he got into a little bit of macho there, and quick Tillis is not going to be around long fighting that way. Again, he scores with a right.
Tyson is beginning to wear down Tillis' defenses, particularly when he catches him against the ropes and then releases him. Round 3 coming to a close, and Mike Tyson warms to the task once again as the round comes to a close. Back with more after this word from our local station.
And then, round 4. Tillis' best stretch of the entire fight. He seized control with his left hand, started dictating the pace. Until, in the final seconds, he lunged forward himself with a leaping left hook. Tyson dipped right, spun on the spot, and in the instant Tillis lost his balance, caught him with a counter left, flush on the chin.
Just slightly for Tyson. But how low he gets to duck under those punches.
It's a career. Scored in a couple of rounds. He should put punches together, punch in combination, and he might give Mike
2
Tyson.
and 3 to Mike Tyson. Right hand lands on the point of the chin, but he didn't get all of it.
Just like this. Switches left-handed. Tillis is a converted southpaw. Punches hardest with his left hook. Fought as an amateur, and at the same time avoid getting hit himself. He's a little bit more sophisticated. He's going to have to cut the ring off better. Tillis claims he slipped on some water in the corner and was distracted before he got punched. Again, he lunges and it gets caught.
The left hand
Experts in precision honed to automatic reflex.
drops Tillis onto the seat of his pants as round 4 is coming to a close.
Tillis crashed to the canvas, but he was up by the count of 2. Not hurt, just frustrated. The moment stole his best round of the fight, but it didn't break him. Rounds 5 and 6, Tillis came out angrier, working the head while Tyson struggled on the inside and answered only with the occasional body shot. The Cowboy held his distance, kept Tyson at bay, dictating his own rhythm.
I don't think that was a punch. The knockdown punch was a punch that hurt Quick Till. It looked to me to be the beginning of the end.
He might have learned not to lunge so badly with the left hand, though. There you see Tyson.
Body punch behind it. He has to punch it.
And again, not busy in the clinch. That's
Did land punches at the end of the flurry.
Terrell Biggs. Tillis extended Biggs to the full 8 rounds, where Biggs got the decision, and that was on January 25.
2 good short chopping right hands by Tillis. Tyson waiting for Tillis to open up, and those 2 body punches did get Tillis' attention, and he's got to be busier. Tillis does have a tendency to tire very badly in late rounds. He was exhausted at the end of his 8-round fight with Tyrell Biggs, and this is a 10-round fight.
Than any of his previous opponents, if he can last past 119 of this round.
Something and throw him in combination. Those are just arm punches. There's nothing on those punches. He's just counting the number.
Up begins to implore Tyson. And now it becomes clear that Tillis will last longer than anyone else has, as we have just passed the point at which Jesse Ferguson, New York, a couple of months ago. That punch missed, despite the crowd.
Tillis 1 round and 1 round even. I did not score the 4th round, which is the round in which a knockdown, a 10-8 because of the fact that Tillis was dominating the round up to that point. There are 2 ways of looking at what Mike is doing. One way is to say that he's pacing himself, he's waiting for the opening. The other way is to say that he's getting frustrated and getting taken out of his fight.
One of a barrel all the way through rounds. Tillis will be back.
Cowboy was winning almost entirely. His jab snapped out again and again, and for long stretches, Tyson looked less like an unstoppable force and more like a frustrated young man searching for an opening that wouldn't come. The crowd began to sense that something unthinkable was unfolding. The Phenom was being outboxed, until in the final seconds, everything hung by a thread. Tyson found him with a right hand. A cut opened above his left eye. Blood streamed down the Cowboy's face, the kind of sight that can turn a fight in an instant, that can rattle a man and hand momentum to his opponent. But the corner worked fast between rounds, and the cut never decided anything.
After the Biggs fight, through the doctor's examination, that James Tillis has a number of allergy stamina, and I think he also trained harder for this fight. He realizes this fight means everything to him.
He has lost 4 of his last 5, and to be knocked out today, and wanted to continue as a fighter, he would do so without the help of Bill Willoughby, where they called him Dark Gable. There's a right hand by Tyson, and the uppercut. Nice cut. There is blood above his left eye.
Rounds 8 and 9. Quiet, methodical work from Tillis. No flashy moments, but on output, both rounds went to the Cowboy. Tyson was largely inactive. By this point, the same thought rippled through the arena. Where had the unbeatable destroyer gone? The answer was simpler than it seemed. Tyson was only 19, a year as a pro against Tillis's 30-plus fights of experience. The Cowboy knew he couldn't outmuscle or punch, but to survive and impose his own tempo. Many would say that was the night the myth showed its first crack.
New York, James Quick Tillis enters round 9 with 19-year-old knockout phenomenon Mike Tyson.
Same division as Mike. He's been fighting as a cruiserweight. There's not as what Mike Tyson said we would see.
And Henry Tillman recently scored a run through the Triple Crown this spring. Right now,
that he is in no danger, in my opinion, of losing or punching that he can't solve. But secondly, it's also possible that Mike Tyson's interested
during the clinches when his hands are free and he has a chance to punch. Landed a right hand on Tillis' nose, but again, we have gotten to the end of round 9. We'll be back for the closer after this.
Round 10. Tillis controlled almost completely, and in the final seconds, both men traded shots right on the bell, as if neither wanted to concede even that last sliver of a second.
The man who broke Mike Tyson's knockout string, especially
frankly expecting to see a knockout. Tyson tries to deliver with the right hand and steps in and throws the left.
Him do what he's done in his previous 19 fights, and he doesn't appear at this point to be going all out to satisfy them.
Still there. Interesting to see how Mike reacts to this. Closing with a flurry. Going to sound.
Final bell. Tillis did what no man had done before him. He went the full distance, but inside the arena and beyond it, opinions split. Too many felt the scorecard should have been far closer. Tillis himself, decades later, still insists. That night, he was the winner.
How disappointed are you that the knockout string is over?
Not at all. If anything, I feel relieved, and I'm confident if I wanted to, I could have knocked them out.
You have always said that Cuss was always critical of your performances. What do you think Cuss would have said about today's performance?
Well, I got hit with punches that I had no business getting hit with. But other than that, my objective is not to get hit with any punches, but as you see, I take them like a professional. It doesn't faze me.
Good learning experience. Good luck down the road, Mike.
Thank you very much, Prince.
But Tyson barely had time to catch his breath. 17 days later, another opponent was waiting. And this time, not just a boxer. Mitch Blood Green, leader of the street gang the Black Spades, a man feared even in the toughest corners of Harlem. Green had no idea yet where his big mouth was about to lead him.
Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.